Hey, this is Rob. So, let's see, yesterday was pretty funny. I hope you, if you're following along, you watched the video blog from yesterday. The last minute, there was just an interesting, an idea that I had. Let's just leave it at that, an idea that I had. And I thought it was pretty funny. So anyways, today, I'm going to take today to talk about depression. Okay, so what is it? It's not sadness, so it's not just being sad. It's a little bit like basically anything you think about, you look at in a completely different way than you usually would, and this generally tends to be negative or cynical or something like that. So for me, that's what it is. I'm not going to get into the clinical definition of what it is because I'm not certified to even read that definition to you guys. But the way that I see it is just that there are some days, for me, and for some people it's more perpetual than that, but for me, there are just some days that no matter what I do or think about, it's just negative. And there's a lot going on in my head, and I spend these days, actually, let's go to a next section for the purposes of formatting. So what do I do about it? So generally I see this as a signal that I need to change something about my routine. So this could be, what you're reading. It could be get off of Facebook for a little while, just pragmatically. We don't realize that things are factoring into our psyche negatively all the time. We're not totally aware of it, but over time, some of our media, what we're consuming, can just bring us down, and it comes to a head eventually. Something triggers it, and you feel like a cascade, and everything is just the worst, including yourself, which is the worst part. And I think that this is the difference between sadness and depression, is that sadness is generally something that happens externally, and depression comes from inside. And it's more of a lens that you see the world. It's different. So I guess we got into what I think it is. And again, for clinical opinions and definitions and that kind of thing, that is something that you want to seek treatment for. But just speaking for myself, since this is a Dailyish video blog, that's what I consider it to be. That's how I know that it happened, and it's not something that's different. And it occurs with some consistency, so maybe, a couple days out of the month. And then that's how I cope with it. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to add a third section where it's what should you do about it? Tips. There's no tips. Just general good advice, which is get to know yourself. Know if you're feeling something, honor it and do what you can to learn more about. You take the opportunity to learn more about yourself and what you can do to manage those feelings. I could say the same thing about jubilance or joy, or you're just feeling amazing. You're on the manic side. So anyways, just get to know yourself. Think of all of the curveballs life throws at you as opportunities to figure out what kind of player you are in this game. Metaphors. 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 Metaphors.